are live. Welcome to the Silver Fox Show. Yeah, we got a couple topics. Two, primarily. It's not going to be that long, and I don't imagine I'll do uh, a lot of talking either. But for the most part, here we are. And this particular topic has more to do with a pride parade. And in this pride parade, it's happening in Manhattan, and I think it just goes hand in hand with what I said in my last two lives, which is this irrational urge for people on the radical left holding extreme ideologies, inserting themselves into professions and institutions which give them access to kids. And I think what I'm about to show you guys now is just kind of a perfect example of exactly that. It's a perfect example of exactly that. And the devil is in plain sight, folks. They're not they on the one hand they're saying that they're not groomers, and then you have on the other hand the LGBTQ openly admitting while while marching in unison, openly admitting that they're coming for your children. This is what they're chanting as they're marching. This is what they're openly admitting to, right? Well, on the other hand, they're saying that, oh, we're not groomers, and you'll often hear the argument about how, we're we're the sick ones for looking at it in a sexual way, when everything about what they do is pretty much sexually explicit, especially their parades, right? So we're going to take a look at this one video.
Parades and stuff every year, but now we're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. Let's listen. Okay, so there's a lot going on. I heard we're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children, we're not going shopping. There's a lot of different things being.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's being said. The gist of it is, we're here, we're queer, and we're coming for your children. And I mean, just look at the degeneracy here. Let's go back a little bit.
Now we're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. Let's listen.
We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. And this is their chant. This is what they chose to be their mantra. Because they're no longer fighting for anything of substance, right? It's no longer a fight for equal rights. This is a fight almost for special privileges. Because they believe that they have the special privilege to dictate what a child learns, despite if their parents or guardians are against what's being taught. And as you can see, this woman is a complete degenerate. I mean, her fucking whole boobs are out. And like I said just prior, It seems like a lot of this is just so hypersexualized for no fucking reason. And at the same time that their movement seems very hypersexualized, very sexualized, everything is has to do with sex for them. They want to make that ceremonious with children, with kids. Don't you find that a little bit odd, striking, surprising, alarming? Look at this fucking degenerate.
Okay, so there's a lot
The
going on. I
devil
heard we're
is
here.
in
We're
plain fucking sight, folks. He's in fucking plain fucking sight. They're telling you straight up to your face. We're here, we're queer, and we're coming for your children. They're not hiding that. That's the hill that they want to die on. I mean, how could you, even if you were pro LGBTQ and you were marching alongside these people who were chanting this, who were championing, who champion this, right? Who chant this? Wouldn't you say, nah, that shit ain't right. That shit ain't right. And it's not the first time they've done something like this, right? Where they actually have a song that they came out with a year ago. The whole LGBTQ movement made this song, okay? Where they were virtually saying the same thing. So you can't just say, well, oh, this is an isolated event and the people in that march are total douchebags. No, this is a sentiment being echoed in several different LGBTQ communities across the fucking globe.
You think we're sinful? You fight against our rights. You say we all lead lives you can't respect. But you're just frightened. You think that we'll corrupt your kids if our agenda goes unchecked. Funny, just this once, you're correct.
Wow.
We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. You can keep him from disco, warn about San Francisco, make him wear pleated pants, we don't care. We'll convert your children. We'll make them tolerant and fair.
There you go. That's
Tolerant and fair? No, they're more likely to make them sexual degenerates, lead them into a life of debauchery, and convince them that homosexuality is a norm. Or that a life separate from God is a norm, because the one thing that they always preach, which is a slogan for them, is live your truth. There's only one truth, but you'll constantly hear them say, live your truth.
that is ultimately the goal. Now, we also have, okay, we'll play this clip for you real quick too, because then the song goes on. I'm not going to play the whole thing for you, but I think the creepiest part of the whole song, you probably thought that it couldn't get creepier than that. Well, it does. Here you go.
We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them.
Oh, nothing weird about that. A bunch of grown men.
How could you? I mean, if you were given something like to do a song or whatever like that, how could you, in your right mind, these are always the type of people, right, who seem to always want to beat you over the head because everything they're doing is for justice and they're constantly taking the moral high ground. And then at the same time, come out with a song like this and then have a bunch of people who actually sat there and agreed to say, Yeah, let's all sing that together wearing shirts that say proud and pride say and sing in chorus that we're coming for your children. Do these individuals have any moral inclination? Absolutely not. There's no way you can have any moral inclination in any part of your fucking body, even deep down to the bone. Because if you did, you would say to yourself, no, this don't sound right. Something's off about this. Something is entirely off about this. And people forget. I really do feel like a lot of people might have seen this video, but then forget about it, right? And then be pro LGBTQ advocates and just completely forget that this is the type of content they're putting out there, right? They're blatantly telling us to our face that they're coming for our children. And like I've said in my last two prior lives, these folk who are radical leftists, majority of which hold extreme ideologies, often insert themselves in professions and institutions which give them access to your kids. I will keep fucking saying that because it's the truth. Groomers. And yet they'll argue that what they're actually teaching your kid is love and fucking tolerance. What they're not teaching anything. What they're spreading is confusion. And they're called and you know, it comes down to the mutilation of children. A child, chopping off their private parts. And to me, that's not being yourself. Being yourself means accepting who you are exactly as you are. How is being yourself surgically changing yourself to be something entirely different? How is that being true to yourself? That's not being true to yourself. If you have to surgically alter yourself to be true to yourself, then obviously that's sort of a kind of a oxymoron, is it not? Is it not an oxymoron? And I mean, this was on this whole event was also on Sky News. It's very short.
End.
So you can see that these are their words. We're here, we're queer, we're coming. I mean, look at this thing. It looks evil. This is a movement of evil. This is an evil movement. This is an evil movement, and people need to be aware of the evil in which they profess to make that your slogan, to make that your chant, is pure evil, especially knowing how protective parents are, not just of their child's innocence, but of their children in general. And you would seek to challenge that? It's despicable. It's just disgusting. This is Sky News in Australia reporting what's happening over here in Manhattan, New York. That's how disgusting and despicable this shit is. And not the people, but more so the action The action of the people is disgusting. It's beneath them. And then they wonder why Christians are always smacking them upside their head with a fucking Bible in hand, with the word of God. Because it's pure degeneracy. And it's run rampant. And if people don't fucking take a stand, it'll get worse. Who knows what society will look like 20 years from now if these type of individuals, these radicals, continue down the path that they've set down to go. It's wickedness. And speaking of wickedness, that kind of goes into my next topic of the kind of wickedness, right? It kind of goes hand in hand with my last slide. The wickedness that we see in Hollywood, the wickedness that, we see kind of being spread around the world in one form or another. And this is an example.
I talk to y'all like that. So a lot of people on here.
This is Doja Cat.
Love old art, love historical art. That's why a lot of the shit that's on my body is that. And that's why y'all are fucking corny. I'm not mad at my fans. Why the fuck would I be mad at my fans? I'm mad at y'all. I don't talk to my fans like that. I talk to y'all like that. So a lot of people on here who are not my fans, and they come in here and they come watch my because they have nothing better to do but talk on the internet.
Doja Cat as of lately has had drastic transformations from this to this to this. And recently she posted a new tattoo she has of a Babylon.
Look at that evil ass satanic tattoo. I mean, look at how satanic she looks over here. And maybe you like Doja Cat, right? That's fair. Maybe you're like, damn, I love her fucking music. But to me, that's just, it's like if you ever heard of the story with the Pied Piper. It's demonic hypnotism. That's what I think a lot of the music is. That's why people are so are like in a trance-like state when they listen to their music. And maybe had you not been hypnotically induced, you would think their music was trash. But because there's demonic hypnotism involved in the music, and this is my opinion, people fall in love with the music. They're unable to reject it, right? They cannot fight the music, so to speak. And it goes back to the story with the Pied Piper, right? But this, come on, this
Babylonian demon. And on her TikTok, she has a half demon goat, Krampus.
Yeah, come on, man. They're telling you, like I said before, the devil is in plain sight, and yet no one can see him.
On her TikTok, she has a half demon goat, Krampus. She later went on to mock everyone by calling it demonic.
And you would think that the devil was damn near invisible. No, like I said, he's in plain sight, but people can't see him. It's like when you're driving and there's a blind spot. You can see everything on the road except that one fucking thing. And that goes back, in my opinion, that goes back to being hypnotically induced.
We're living in very demonic times where worshipping demons is becoming mainstream.
Doja Cat in plain sight pledging allegiance to Satan. What is that on her head?
I mean, I found it all fucking weird the moment she fucking shaved her. Shaving your head's one thing, but shaving your fucking eyebrows off? She was a decent looking girl, bro. Before she fucking shaved her eyebrows off, you could tell. You know, not just with her, but with people like Sam Smith, Gunna, Young Thug. I mean, a shit list load of them, man. Especially Lil Uzi, who pushed this satanic fucking image.
Some high profile men with her.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Who knows what the fuck is that? And that's why when I say, like, prior to my last live, when you see the trailer with the Zendaya, right, making out with two dudes at the same time, it's because shit like this. Hollywood, I believe, behind the scene, has a satanic culture that it wishes to push and that it wishes to propagate. Right? The devil is trying to collect as many souls as he can.
Let's talk.
That's what the fuck this is. He's trying to collect as many souls as he can. And he'll use celebrities and, you know, influencers who are at the cream of the crop to do so. Because celebrities and influencers have the most influence already on the minds of the masses. And unfortunately, you know, we're stuck with it. But at least we can be aware of what the fuck is going on. At least we can have the awareness that there's witches and warlocks who are conjuring demons and putting hypnotic spells in their music to not just subjugate the minds of the people, but to turn people's hearts toward evil and to invert everything that's good and in essence corrupt it. And that's why you can see these evil radical leftists, typically the ones holding extreme ideologies, always coming for the kids because it's an attack on what is good. It's an attack on what is holy. It's an attack on purity. It's an attack on innocence because the devil seeks to corrupt all those things. Innocence, purity, and what is intrinsically good. And we have to be able to distinguish between, you know, what is worldly and what is biblical. What the world is calling of us and what God is calling of us or for us. Because there's a lot of shit going on, I feel like, right under all of our fucking noses. And I don't know if people, like I said, it's one or two things. Either people have turned a blind eye toward it, of course, because they don't have Jesus in their lives, or they're under, you know, some type of demonic, hypnotic induction. So it's unfortunate, but it's the world that we live in today. And I guess the other thing that I kind of wanted to talk about is, you know, we have to stand on something. Like I said before in my last live, where it's like you'll fall if it was that quote where it's like if you If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. And that's exactly what we can see. Like, that's why you see the slow transition, the slow transformation of someone like Doja Cat falling deeper and deeper into what I would call evil. And that's what I was pointing out in my last live is, are we going to see the same kind of transition with a actress like Zendaya? And it might not be with her personally, but maybe it's just with her choice of movies and the type of character she plays, right? And that's because the people who are running the machine get the last call. But if you don't stand for anything, you're gonna do whatever the fucking puppet masters fucking tell you to do. Well, guys, that's pretty much what I've wanted to address in this live. I thank you all for tuning in. You know, it's always a pleasure having people, regardless if they tune in now or if they tuned in later. I just want to be able to show the things that I'm not sure what people are tuned into these days, but I know for damn sure that they're not getting, the algorithm isn't feeding them the information that would give them the awareness they need to see all the fucked up shit that's going on. And I think that even on a lot of my social medias that I engage with, I feel like there's a lot of things the algorithm doesn't show me, but it absolutely should, based off of the content in which I'm interested in. So, the alarms are going off. They're going off. I think, where, and it's damn near looking like end times. It's damn near looking like end times. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And it's unfortunate. And I think that's gonna be what my next video is gonna be about. My next video is gonna be about kind of going into conspiracy a little bit. And it's gonna be a little bit about the Book of Revelations. It's gonna be a little bit about, the idea. I probably have maybe a little bit of evidence to support the theory that, end times is near. There's a lot of signs that are pointing to either we're getting close to the end times or this is actually the end times. In my opinion, I think that we're getting very close to end times, and that's what all these things that are happening like around the world, as far as like the Euphrates River drying up and stuff like that. But I'm gonna save that all for another live. Again, thank you for tuning in. If you tuned in earlier, if you tuned in during, if you're tuning in after.